Can somebody tell me why people equate not wanting kids with not liking kids? Now, personally, I don't necessarily want kids, but that doesn't mean that I hate kids or I don't like kids. And for some reason, when I tell people that I don't want kids, they always automatically go to people that hate kids can't be trusted. People that da-da-da. When did I ever say that? I don't remember ever saying that. Not wanting kids doesn't equate to hating or not liking kids. I love kids. I'm great with kids, and kids love me. I feel like kids pick up on energy, so a child not liking you is very telling.
Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about people not wanting children. Yes, they are making a decision to not have kids because they just don't want them. And they have various reasons as to why they don't want them. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel.
A lot of people don't want to have kids because they don't want to have to sacrifice their own happiness and their own pleasure for somebody else. And I think that's admirable that you know that about yourself, because a lot of people are going to be like, you're so selfish. But it's like, yeah, I know I'm selfish. I know I'm selfish, and therefore I don't want to have to add anybody into this space because I'm weird. And sometimes I watch things that remind me of a Saturday morning on Lifetime. I was watching Mama Flora's Family, the miniseries, and it perfectly illustrated why a lot of people don't want to have kids, because there was a scene where a mama played by Erica Alexander was sitting at a table with her two kids, and her daughter just finished her chicken, and she put up the bone and she said, "Can I have another?" And Erica Alexander was about to take a bite of her chicken, and she looked at her daughter and then she handed her piece of chicken. And I know some of you are not going to be able to do that. She didn't have enough money. She didn't have enough food. Her child was hungry, and she fed her child her food. Now, some of y'all would have had children starving because you would have been like, I got to eat too. And some of y'all would say you need to be grateful for the little that we do have while you eat your chicken in front of your child. But some people have the heart of being a parent that would give their child their chicken. They just don't want to give that child that chicken, so that's why they're not having a child. People want to feel comfortable that they are going to be able to reliably feed themselves and their children, because they do not want to have a hungry child. And if their child is fed, they want to make sure they can eat too.
So while y'all are on this app being upset and triggered by child-free women being excited about being child-free, and y'all reasonings for your children is who's going to take care of you in old age, what we've learned from people like Gina Hackman and millions of people that live in nursing homes who have children, your children are not a retirement plan. Every reasoning a lot of you have given for having kids is selfish. Who's going to give you unconditional love? Who's going to take care of you when you get older? Who can you write off on your taxes?
So I have made the executive decision that I do not want children and I do not plan on having kids. Okay? So with that being said, for a long time, I thought I was not going to be able to get married to a man unless I was willing to have a kid. And so for a long time, I started to lie to myself and lie to men and tell them like, yeah, I'm willing to have a kid if I'm married. And during that time, I really thought like, okay, I'm just going to have to suck it up and have a kid for my husband. It is what it is. But then I met my homegirl, which she travels just as much as me, if not more. She's just a year older than me. She's married. She doesn't want kids. Her husband already has one grown child and one school-age child, and he's okay with not having no more kids. And he's only willing to have them if she wants them. And she doesn't want kids because she never had a desire to want kids, just like me. And talking to her honestly just gave me a little boost. And I was like, you know what? If you can get married and not want to have kids and don't plan on having kids, so can I. And I should not be settling for having a child for my husband for something I don't even want. I do not want kids. I never, ever wanted children since I was a kid. I never wanted kids. At first, they was like, oh, you just saying that because you're young. You a kid. When you get grown, you're going to change your mind. Then when I was young, in my 20s, they was like, oh, you're going to change your mind. Now, I am a 33-year-old woman. Baby, I know. I don't want no kids. I don't want no children. Like, I'm okay with being a step parent, a bonus mom, but having kids of my own, absolutely not. And now that I met my homegirl and see how she's a successful marriage and she doesn't want kids, don't plan on having kids, and her husband okay with that, I'm in a, like, it really boosts a little, boosts something in me. Because, baby, I I can get married, and I like Uncle them, and she got Uncle them. Like, I like Uncle them. Uncle them usually don't even want to start over. He ain't trying to have no more kids. So, yeah, I accepted the fact that I'm not having kids, and neither do I want any. Even though
I knew that I had no desire for motherhood the day my mama died. It was really that simple for me. My mother dying changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I noticed that a lot of people do not like that answer for some reason, which are a lot of wonderfully strong women, because I think you have to be strong to raise children without the support and help from your own mother. And I'm not even talking just babysitting. I'm talking when I'm panicking or I'm scared, my mother is there to calm me down. When I'm going through postpartum, my mom is pulling up and she's helping with the cooking, she's helping with the cleaning, because I know my mother, and that would have been my mom. My mom would have been that mom. And once she died, I just didn't see it any other way. And people are like, oh, well, if you have a great partner, you have a great partner. I have a wonderful husband, but my husband is not my mom. My husband is not my mom.
I don't think that women who decide to not have children get enough credit for how loving of a decision that is. Now, weird enough, some people have said that women deciding not to have children is selfish, which is mind-boggling to me, because how could anybody ever tell me what I decide to do with my body is selfish or not? You don't even get a say in that. Let me tell you how loving it is. I was just listening to a little snippet of Mel Robbins' podcast, and she was on there with her daughter. And her daughter was talking about how she felt as a kid. She felt like every time Mel Robbins came home as a mom, she was always still at work, in a sense. She was always talking about work. She was always thinking about work. And she was like, when you came home, I wanted you to like think about me. I wanted you to give me attention. Mel was like, wow, I didn't know that. And the daughter was like, yeah, I just like, when you came home, I wanted it to be about me. And so Mel was like, wow, yeah, that's true. My mind was in different places. I was thinking about work. I had to pause it right there, because I said, this is the reason why I do not want to have children. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a point, and it still is probably like a small point in the back of my mind, where I said, if I meet the right person, somebody I would want to like really marry, that I would want to be with, then I would consider having a child. That is a very, very small part in the back of my mind. But 99% of me is like, I'm okay with not having a child because of what she just said. She wanted her mom to come home, and she wanted to be her mother's focus when her mom came home. That's a very natural thing to want. And especially as a child, yes, you're due love, you're due care, you're due nurturing. But this is why it's a loving thing to know yourself and thus know you don't want to have children. I know what type of person I am. I'm very creative. I'm always thinking. I feel like I get a million ideas a day. I feel like I'm behind on my ideas. My brain is always thinking, working, pushing, pulling, curating, tearing down, putting back up. When I get home, my favorite thing to do is to think. My favorite thing to do is to figure out something else. What am I doing next? Okay, what are we doing with this? That's my favorite thing to do. So imagine coming home, and where I have the space to do my favorite things the most, waiting there is something else that wants my full attention. And I know that I don't want to make that decision. I know that I don't want to put myself in a position where I have another responsibility. And now this is my greatest responsibility in my life, which is my child. That's a beautiful thing for who it's beautiful for. But some of us, our children are not physical or human beings. Some of us our children are our concerts. It's our music. It's my words. It's my books. It's my performances. My children. It's the things that I've created, curated. It's my ideas. It's the things that I feel I need to see in this earth. It's the things that I feel like I'm divinely supposed to give birth to. All mothers are not mothers of human beings. Some of us, you guys call it legacy. Some of us will be mothers or are mothers of things that the world will benefit from. The world will eat from. You may be putting a roof over your head or over the head of one child. I'm putting a roof over the hearts of those who hear my songs. Come on, somebody. You understand?
People are choosing not to have kids, and I respect their decision. I think it's great that people are learning themselves or know themselves enough to know what they do not want. And that's great. There was a time when our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents were forced to have kids, basically by society. And now things have changed. Thanks for watching my video. Have an amazing day.